Anybody see anything in the minutes of concern? Requires a change? And I took a look, I didn't see anything. If that's the case, without objection, we will adopt the agenda and the minutes from the last two meetings. Okay, we have a update on the UALT application for Champion Land Company.
Yes, so we just had 5 responses to the scoring sheet for this property. I thought Brian was going to be here from the land trust, but I don't see him. Anyways, you can see from the scoring sheet in your packet, which has been updated from the one I emailed, just to let you know, a slight change. The overall score was an average of 40 out of 200 out of 500 points for the score. There are the comparisons for you. Vivian Christensen had an average score of 71.6, Elkhorn Ranch 71.4, and then Harris Farms at 65.7. So you can see it's lower than the other applications that have gone to the next round. Again, the overall scores were pretty low, and there was actually quite a variation in some of the scoring. For instance, protecting scenic vistas, the 5 responses were from 0 to 11. Preserving open spaces, 0 to 8. The highest one was maintaining agriculture, as you can see by the averages there. But again, maintaining waterways, a high of 7 to low of 0. So there were quite wide swings on the scoring sheets, just to give you some context on that. But we have included just the attribute maps showing the different potential sensitive or significant areas, including farmland, the wetlands, water bodies, wildlife, and then just also as a refresher, I included the original application again and the narrative that was provided by the applicant for the property. That sums up what I have an update on.
I have 3 things that come to mind as a learning opportunity or a developing. We kind of know that we're starting from. There's all these points that we're learning from. One is something you brought up, Chris. We're not putting cost into this.
In this first round.
And so we have this score of 40, but it may be hugely low in cost, like really low. And somehow we're not, we're not factoring that in. Maybe that makes it so that this would be something that might be interesting. By the way, I did not get my score, and we had a death in the family, and it's kind of interrupted things. But I don't know that I would have been wildly off of somewhere where we're at. Right. But what comes to mind is, like, how do we address the fact that, hey, this is lower scoring, but it's extremely low cost? Then the other thing that comes to mind as well is, I think if we're looking at 20 million, that we're responsible for 20 million and seeing that that's spent the best possible way, or is it's been brought up that we would possibly be running the Greenbelt money, recovery money through this, and if that's the case, then it may be more like 40 million over the course of a 20-year period, right? Yeah. So if it's 40 million, that kind of changes the game, and if this happens to be, I don't know, $150,000 or $200,000, does this maybe become a little more interesting? I don't know. Yeah. And if that's the case, it's going backwards to some of the properties we may have seen previously with that thought, and saying, okay, how does it kind of rank with all of those? Yeah. But I would certainly hate to get to the point where we have a great property exiting the Sardine Canyon or something that comes, and it's a more expensive opportunity and we don't have the money. But if it includes the Greenbelt money, then maybe we need to start looking at it a little bit differently, as far as everything we look at. So.
Yeah, I kind of think our existing framework, if you will, we haven't established as a committee anyway, like a minimum score that you have to have for us to approve anything. And so we've been looking at each project individually based on its own merits. And I think you're right, there was maybe some hesitation initially with lower scoring applications when we didn't know what was gonna be coming in. And we've got another year plus under our belt since then, maybe, and like you say, maybe there's a reflection on what's, you know, some of these projects that score lower may still have important value, and certainly if they're a good bargain, then why not?
So on my score, I don't know if you guys noticed that when we were driving, but one of these two pieces right here is next to a DWR walking access.
I saw that in the comments on the revised,
I noticed that when we
Spreadsheet, so,
drove by,
yeah,
that's an interesting
yeah.
feature, so,
Oh, I didn't know that. Might have changed my score a little bit on,
yeah.
on access on that.
Yeah,
But that would need to be built into the easement though, not year to year,
Yeah.
but, yeah. My understanding
Other
is
thoughts?
on
Yeah.
dollars, I thought the same thing, you know, maybe a lower score than Elkhorn or something on all those categories. But we're not really addressing dollars here, that comes in phase two, because we're kind of guessing at the dollars, we don't know, like,
But we were told a rough number at one point.
yeah,
yeah, and I think Mark's here now, and maybe we can
yeah.
chat about that a little bit.
Yeah, and somehow maybe it needs to kind of be in that first
It's in the
round.
back of our minds, I know. I think as an advisory committee, we give the council the benefit of our advice. I don't know that we would hold this up, or we even have that authority. I think it goes with the score. They look at dollars, and then they come to phase two is when you get into the assessment and all of that. So
But we haven't passed anything to the council for consideration unless we make a recommendation for it.
yeah. Would we pass it on and say we don't recommend it, but here it's your decision? I don't remember our role on that. But,
Good question. My inclination would be more of a, recommend, I mean, we can certainly find out more information, but to proceed to that next step to get the answers to those kinds of questions, and then, you know, that's another opportunity to a decision point for the committee to move it forward to the council or not,
yeah.
as far as the recommendation goes, so.
Decision for the landowner too, because it's quite a bit more work.
More
if you
work, more
decide to do
investment,
it.
yeah.
I mean, if a score of 40, if it costs the county $20,000 or something, it changes the equation, and we don't know that yet, exactly.
We do know there was a decline from Lee Ray McAllister, but Lee Ray McAllister's not that big of a fund anyway.
Right?
Mhm.
And it also could be,
Yeah.
it would be conditional on NRCS as being there anyway,
Mhm.
for the landowner to be worth it to the landowner.
Yeah,
Sorry, I said Mark, I meant Brian. It's Brian, right?
No, I know what you meant.
Can you come up and tell us, is there anything known at this time as far as how much funding you might be seeking from COSAC? It's not we're not gonna hold you to it necessarily. Okay.
what percentage is that, you know?
Well, the value's estimated at 1.6, so you guys do the math.
Okay.
Who can do the math quick?
Yeah, that's-
12.5%.
Yeah, 12.5%.
Yeah,
And-
I look at the total that we've, $8.26 an acre. And it goes again to, is there that green belt money? The most interesting part to me, these are a little bit kinda out there, but it also overlooks the valley where you know, you do see, it is that's where, you're talking the vista, it is a little bit of a vista for some people up there, and if someone threw like 5 houses up there, that would change the environment up there quite a bit, but.
I also feel like these are likely to be a catalyst for other landowners in the area to be interested in the program, and which is gonna make, you know, ultimately this perhaps initial investment more valuable over time if there's more of a consolidated land area. One of the unique aspects of this is it begins to capture that dry land farming environment that we have in Cache County, and it's limited, but it's excellent. So, an important agricultural resource for that component.
A lot of acres out there.
Yeah, a lot of acres. Yeah. Just some thoughts.
And is it fair to do this, go forward here, although there is a land conservancy placing an NRCS application, that's very different than, but I think about a couple of the early ones that came in, where we did the one along the highway, but we didn't do the other one. Cooper, but would it only be fair to go back to Cooper and say, well, let's look at this, but he didn't have a number either,
Yeah,
so.
and in that case, am I right? I don't think we turned it down, we just tabled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we left it open to circle back to that if,
I expect if the landowner came back and really wanted to pursue it, you know, in spite of maybe a low score, we'd
Yeah.
look at it, maybe
Yeah.
they would kick in the percentage, dollars would change or something.
Yeah.
He came a few times, right?
Yeah,
And we just weren't going anywhere with it, and.
yeah.
well, I think we did recommend approval for
the other.
the highway area, but then we also didn't get any follow-up from them on that,
Yeah,
so. But anyway, we can take on that job or that responsibility and circle back to them for sure.
and that would go to, you know, you talked about a spreadsheet, so we could see a picture of everybody
Yes.
who applied
Yes.
and what the score was, and just so we can kind of be like, oh, this is where this fits in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that one, I think we got a total different category there than what some of this other stuff we're looking at. It's agriculture, it's out there, and if you get some easements out in that area, you'll probably get more.
Yeah.
But it's never gonna rate like some of these others we've looked at because of just don't get the population going past the roads, whatever.
Yeah.
It's total different.
Yeah.
But it's also 200,000.
Yeah, and that's why the score reflects that.
Yeah. What, anything new you wanna share with us? Sorry, Justin.
That dry land ground is cheaper than irrigated.
Yeah.
But give it time and it may change.
Yeah.
Well, that's a true point, I mean, right? If we lose the current agricultural irrigated land, then what's left is your dry land property, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's some other values for you. We will submit in March back to Lee Ray McAllister for a $200,000 also award from them. The landowner is going to donate back, $447,000 of that value.
25% sounds like ish. Yeah. More than anybody else so far, I think.
Higher percentage.
Yeah, higher percentage, I should say.
That shows some interest to go ahead.
Yeah.
And that could all be explained to the council, is like, there is an NRCS application. It's the value, it's the cost of this that makes it interesting to us, if we did wanna make that recommendation.
Cost per acre. kind of thing.
And I don't know, not to put any pressure on you, but, right, if you did come forward, when we do apply, we can say, we have COSAC and offer this amount to NRCS and Lee Ray, which will then probably entice them to want to
Yeah.
put some money towards it, because there's already been some money earmarked for it. So, no pressure, but it's just, we consider
It's
it.
valid.
Yeah.
Brian, just cause you're there, I've heard, was it Debbie told me that NRCS budget and it's quite low this coming year?
To be honest, I haven't actually heard the actual numbers.
Gabe, do you know what it is?
The last I heard was it was just a repeat of their previous state allocation, so that was around 4 million, I believe.
4 million for statewide?
Yeah. So that was the last I heard. Now that, I will, to Brian's point, that's been changing
Yeah.
weekly.
Yeah, but 4 million is not huge for,
No.
That's for the whole state?
Yes.
Isn't
That's kind of their
McAllister
initial
like 1 million
allocation,
or
that's what I
something?
heard.
Leeway has been a 1 million, and I don't think that's gonna change again.
you said additional? The 4 million is the additional or?
No, so the 4 million is kind of their standard, like that's what their standard allocation is. And then sometimes they can pursue additional funding, beyond that 4 million. But as far as I know, it was gonna be about the same funding level as it was last year. Now, I could be wrong and that can change.
No, they don't
That's
have a
what I
new
heard.
farm bill, so they're gonna run off of last year.
Yeah,
And the way I understood it when we were working with them last year was that the more application interest, then they can go back and request more. And so if the application interest is down, then they're just gonna go with what they've been averaging. But if the application interest is increased, then they could ask for increased funds.
It would be nice to get as many Cache County projects.
Yeah.
in front of
We've
them
done
each
pretty
year.
good, so we can keep that rolling.
That's right. Other questions for Brian? Any other new news you want to share with us? Not that there is, there's no requirement, but.
Nothing new on this. But I think maybe, I don't know, I apologize that I was tardy. Did you already bring the fraud thing forward with the Christensen?
We were just discussing it informally before the meeting or whatever, and so we
That's
just,
the newest thing.
yeah. right.
I've got it just to mention in other business.
So we'll talk about it again later in the agenda.
Okay, that's all I have.
And you're still waiting on Champion word from NRCS application, right? Okay. Great, thank you.
Absolutely, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? I mean, I'd be inclined to support recommending approval for first round to the council on this one, and
We could do 100 of these.
yeah, we could,
I mean, that's a way of looking at it.
yeah.
1%.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1%. Yeah. I marked it down a little bit on agriculture just because they're separate parcels and it's dry land, and to profitably farm dry land in the future, if this were all built up all around there, you got these parcels, who's gonna take a combine in there, that kind of a thing. So,
It's gonna have to combine,
Yeah.
no pun, it's gonna have to combine with some other farms at some
kind of
point.
going on
to
faith
make-
on that, but,
Yeah.
You see that, Justin, in the end.
yeah.
Yeah, you do, but he's also got relatives in the same area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
His brother owns a big section in there too, from the
Yeah.
original family.
But I'm fine with sending it forward. We could even send it without a recommendation if we wanted to, just, here's the information, the scoring is our recommendation, but you've got to factor it in with cost. It's incomplete by itself, however we want to do it.
I too would favor what you're talking about, with the caveat and us coming up with a way to also go with that going forward, how we look at those things. Just so we happen to know a fact that we haven't asked someone in the past, or they haven't had. That's why we're able to go forward with it. How would we look at that in the future?
Yeah. Any suggestions, Keegan?
I would say include a recommendation if you can. I mean, an abstention is a no vote essentially, so
Yeah.
keep that in mind as you bring it forward. If the council doesn't feel like you're recommending it, they're way less likely to see it forward. Also say let the council determine what the budget is. That's gonna be, our decision. And then I do think there is sort of a bias to, I'll use a phrase that's not entirely accurate here, but shovel-ready projects, you know, versus speculative. It's just, the future's really hard to predict, and if there's something on the table, I think we're more likely to move it along. At least that's been my observation.
Shovel ready meaning like it's with a land trust, or?
Yeah, there's already wheels in motion, there's already a contributor. And I think the other thing that people are gonna look at is the percentage of the total,
Okay.
that the county's being asked to contribute.
Yeah.
And then the scoring, of course, and I think that sheet that shows all the projects that have been approved in the past, percentages and scoring would be really helpful to put in
We could even,
context.
Okay.
we'd even show dollars per acre relatively.
Yeah,
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 so that would be my advice.
okay, thank you.
Is there a mechanism where we as a committee would vote on whether or not to recommend it before we would, or just have a quorum of support for that before we recommend or choose not to recommend to the council?
What are you asking?
Well, you know, if we decide as a committee to recommend, is that a voting thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it'd be
There'd need to be a
recorded
motion.
vote that would go with it.
And that's what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so in this case, I think we'd just be recommending round one approval, and, I think we can make the pitch to the council, or, provide them with all the information why we recommended approval at this round, at this state.
The scores would go with that, I would
Yeah,
suggest,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure, absolutely, yeah. At least the last, applications that we've taken to the council, they get the full, report and, breakdown of scoring and everything like that for round one, so.
I think it would also put to the council the thought process, like, you guys can discuss the same thing as us, as if there's a low scoring project, is that of interest at the dollar value?
Yeah,
And your vote doesn't have to be unanimous. I mean, well,
Yeah.
if some of you don't agree that it should be recommended, that's helpful to see too.
okay,
I move that we approve this for,
Recommend approval.
Recommend approval for round one
to the county council.
to the county council.
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion to recommend approval of the Champion Land Company LLC application for, first round approval. And, is there any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so it sounds like it was unanimous. So we'll get that information together, and who wanna follow up with us on a meeting date or an agenda when it would be to the council, or do you know that already? Okay.
Or, yeah, probably either the second meeting in January, which is the 27th, I think,
Okay,
or the first meeting in February.
okay, either one, just let me know and I'll plan to be there. Okay, anything else on that agenda
I have a question
item?
on the green bill.
Okay,
How's that money come back? Is it through the state of Utah, Cache County?
comes through Cache County, right?
Yeah, I think so. Casey Snyder would probably be the best person to
So it
answer this
would
question.
be added into the $20 million bond?
Well, that's the part that hasn't been determined yet.
Oh,
okay.
Keegan, could you find that out for us?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure who mentioned it, but someo's like,
Yeah,
We
there's been
may or may
discussion
not
of
be involved.
funneling
Yeah.
that into the same fund as COSAC and having COSAC be the recommending body, but that's not official.
Okay. But it is something that needs to be worked out, right?
Yes.
And,
Because someone has to manage it and make that determination. By default, it goes to the council, the legislative body that
Sure.
oversees the budget. But that
But
should be
it's just-
delegated from what I understand.
Each county gets so much.
I think the recommendation was to send it to COSAC. I think that made a lot of sense to people. And
Okay.
a lot of other counties are looking to follow the example of I haven't heard any update that that's officially the way forward. Yeah, I can find that.
Yeah, bring us back a number annually. Maybe that varies though.
I
How
think
much
it does,
goes out,
yeah.
it would vary, it wouldn't be set.
It varies, and this would be the first year that would happen?
As far as I understand, yeah,
Okay.
this would be, you know, when someone sells a property that. has been
26.
deferred,
Okay,
and
26.
That money is being claimed. You know,
Okay.
so I think it does depend on factors like how many properties are selling.
Okay,
It does make a difference.
Yeah.
It's good news.
it's great news.
Yeah, but as far as the administration thereof, it's.
And then there's the question of like, how long does you have to spend that? You know, do we hear,
Yeah.
the bond get spent first because there is a timeline on that? Can the other accumulate in the meantime?
Government doesn't like you earning interest on your money that's sitting there. So, but yeah, I don't know the specific rules that govern.
Okay. Anything else on that item?
Do we have a number of money that's left of 20 million? Anybody
That
know
could be in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That was in the budget that just was, we went over 2 meetings ago,
Okay.
December. I don't have it in front of me, but it's there.
How
You have a
much?
rough back of the envelope calculation?
I don't, Matt Funk could tell you that right now, but, our auditor, but it's.
As
I
far
could
as
look
what
at my-
has been approved,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could look in my email and see what's.
Smithfield,
it's,
Sardine,
it's around 8 million altogether.
that's been spent.
That sounds right.
8
Right.
out of the 20, somewhere in there. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'll get to work on that spreadsheet. Okay, our next item, agenda item is the outreach letter. And so Angie sent out, sort of the most recent iteration of that. I don't know if folks had a chance to take a look at it, but, Eric, you wanna lead this discussion?
Yeah, I think we spent a lot of time on the letter. The question is more, does anyone need it changed before that happens? There is a map that I did, if you recall, that kind of shows the areas that I think would be helpful to go with it in terms of also being a little bit eye-catching in terms, and it just talks about the gateway. I have 150. When I deduped the list, there was a few landowners actually in each of the gateways that overlapped. That came to right around 150. So, question a little bit to Angie is, can we run that through your staff, the 150 letters, or?
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm just, the only hiccup I have, and it's maybe because I don't know how to do it, but it's just getting those, personalized, doing the mail merge.
Oh, the mail merge. I could do the mail merge.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah. It says use the property owner's name. That would end up being a little funky because there's like, it's not normal names. It's not like John.
LLC or something.
It's not, yeah.
Like an LLC or.
Or something trust, type of a deal. But it's probably gonna be a little more catching to the eye when they see that, it's not just a form letter, even then. And then, we'd have the map with it, so it's just two pieces of paper folded up, coming from the county. I think from the county's the big deal as far as getting them to open up the letter and looking at that.
Yep.
But that's I could do the mail merge completely.
Yeah, and I don't know if I have your map or not either, so.
I don't think I passed it. So if did you send this to us? Is this in what form is this?
It's in the packet in
Yeah.
PDF, but I can send it in Google.
Yeah, if I had even if I had that, I could change it to a Word doc, cause I'll probably do a Word doc mail merge.
Okay, yeah, I'll leave that.
And then, anyone see anything wrong with just pushing it all the way through right now? I think January's a great month to get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody's anxious to get it rolling, and what I would ask is just, let us know if you need our help, just filling envelopes and licking stamps or whatever the case may be, however, the logistics of it, I guess. I think we're interested in helping.
Have a pizza party and,
Sure, exactly.
We do have a couple machines that can help.
I was gonna say, sometimes you have
Probably.
something that the rest of us
But
don't have.
sometimes we need a moment of zen just to fold stuff.
Yeah, and
Michelle wants to look some.
And then I think if you, as we get response back, if you see like, there's a group of, if there's a, we have in here the COSAC meeting, if we can make it part of that meeting to answer, like, that we go over that. We invite Gabe and we invite Brian. By the way, it represents 36,000, the 150 names represent 36,000 acres. I'm sure, we're not gonna, it's not gonna be that with what you have to go through for a land trust, but the possibility of finding someone in that mix is probably pretty high. So,
It'll be interesting to see what sort of response we get.
and it does go down to a few, the smallest was 6 acres, that blocks the freeway if it developed. But that's very far the exception, most of them are big properties.
sounds good. Thank you.
I guess on that, Eric brings up a good point. I know we've talked about this a few times, the sort of having a landowner workshop. That's something we should probably look to accomplish here in the next few months, is maybe organizing and having a landowner workshop for this program or something like that. So sometime this spring or summer,
Yes.
maybe we should try and have that on our agenda going forward as an item.
I'll be holding a crop school, but then at noon it will switch over to a conservation fair. So even if you held a booth,
Yeah,
conservation fair,
okay,
answer questions, it would probably be a good thing.
that's February 4th.
Yeah, then we can part with, UDAF and,
Where's that at?
it'll be, Cache County Fairgrounds.
What's the date?
February 4th.
And it's a landowner workshop?
We'll be having crop schools, we'll be talking about, I'm still putting it together right now. So I conduct the first half, and then we'll have break for lunch. And after that, we'll turn over to a conservation fair with few speakers and booths.
Okay,
So Van Law will be the other person working that other half, and so I'll put Jim Conn has a few doing that second half.
yeah, I think we'd love to, if there was interest in capacity in the schedule, we'd love to make a presentation about COSAC and the program and everything.
So I'll keep that in mind too, I might even bring you in for 30 minutes to talk about it,
Yeah, okay,
as I'm putting it together.
that'd be great. Or I can just give you the presentation and you can do it.
I'm already looking at one, so I don't know if I want to do a double.
Okay, that's exciting. So that'll be a good activity to work towards.
There should be 100 or so people.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. That sounds really great. All right, so we're good on the outreach letter. Anything else on that? I guess let us know what you need, Angie, from us, or how we can help.
Gabe?
Would you be willing to send a copy of that letter to the land trust so that we're kind of aware of when it goes out and what's in it?
You bet.
I don't know, Ryan, would you, or?
Make it look like a tax statement, like someone does.
Yeah.
That's happens. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but come from the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
Thanks. And Gabe, thank you, Keegan.
I'll
Okay.
give you that info too, about the green belts.
Thank you. That letter will be in PDF format in our
Okay.
agenda packet too, if you need an electronic version, so.
Question,
Yes,
how do you get on the list to get the letter?
That's a good question.
You don't need to get the letter to apply either, so. It was some specific areas that we wanna make sure, that was in the bond that passed, the language in the bond that passed, they matched those locations.
So it's basically, it's targeted.
It is, this letter's targeted to just try and make those landowners aware of the program. And it's targeted in kind of gateway areas, and so if you think of the sort of the mouth of Sardine Canyon or at the Utah-Idaho border, coming in from the north, there's 6 or 7 different kind of areas that we generated a mailing list of 150 landowners to send this letter to. And again, what spurred it on is we weren't seeing a whole lot of applications, and so we're trying to get the word out to folks. But tell us about your project. Where's your property at?
Well, I have several clients plus myself that are major landowners. We're
Okay.
just curious what's going on.
Okay. And are you with the land trust or just private citizen?
Private citizen and lands broker.
Okay. Well, what I can tell you is that there is an application on our website, and we encourage and welcome everyone to apply, make applications.
Will you post this letter on your website so we can see what those guys are getting?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just do a copy here, is there a way to do that for him? Or?
To provide him a copy?
I could give you, I'll give you my copy off the back of this.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Let's get the public
Yeah.
knowing what's.
But-
This is
but-
great, this is great. Let's
But
get the
again,
public
this
in.
letter is just targeted to one of the facets of the bond language, so this letter may not even apply to you if your land isn't, adjacent to one of these valley gateways, but that's not saying we're not interested in your property. And
Well,
you can
it's
go
just-
online and learn much more about the whole process, but we'd be really interested in hearing more about your property.
Great, and just, it'd be more transparent, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you bet. Okay, anything else?
And
on
you
the-
may be getting the letter, by the way. It might
Or
show
one
up.
of your clients, maybe. Anything else on the outreach letter, committee members? Anything we want to update on item number 6, the funding strategy for small parcels? I guess, in a way, it may be that Greenbelt kickback program that is a big part of the strategy, and learning more about that maybe is.
Because we could really target a actual, more non-NRCS combined on that particular type of money.
Yeah, I think maybe you guys have had similar experiences, but I know I've had quite a few landowners ask me about applying to the program, but they're 10 acres or 15 acres or, not really gonna attract support necessarily from those other programs. And so this would certainly give us a mechanism to find more or fund more of those kind of projects.
Along with this, and going back to the gentleman's comment, I wonder if with the tax stock that goes out to everybody, if there could be something about, this is a long way off, this is in October or whatever, that first letter that goes out. If we had a little piece about the program in that letter that goes, what we had to do is get money to do this, so we made it a little smaller. But with that, if we're just going in the same envelope, do you think they'd let us do that?
We can ask.
Okay. Yeah.
No, the executive got a letter in there.
Yeah, he did. So
maybe
that's our in.
Maybe there's a
Precedence.
way to delineate like who's in Greenbelt
Yeah.
and let them have a copy of that. So
That'd
you
be-
have to send it to every house.
Yeah,
But.
Even better.
The
Even,
whole world to know what's going on.
yeah, great.
okay. Anything else come to mind on?
I really like the Greenbelt option.
Yeah,
Yeah, that focuses better.
Yeah, you're not sending it to subdivisions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about like you targeting
Oh,
the
the
Greenbelt
dollars.
money,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for some of these smaller, and go back
Oh,
to,
okay.
going back to Mr. Cooper and saying, hey, we wanna buy your conservation easement, and we want you to use it to buy the neighbor's property, and we'll buy that conservation easement too, and you have 40 acres there
Well, it's
along the
it's
freeway.
a lot simpler if you're using an in-house money.
that's
instead of
right,
This blue sky money.
that's right.
I mean, it's really blue sky. $4 million for the state of Utah. I don't go very far.
I mean, we've had a $4 million project,
Yeah.
cash,
You can-
so,
We'll take it all. Try that one out, see if that fits.
yeah.
Okay, if there's nothing else on item 6, maybe we'll move on to item 7. Other business. What do folks want to talk about here?
Let me just bring up the fraud scraping.
Sure, let's do it.
So Brian, I know, just to answer your question, then Gabe brought it up as well, cause, Gabe, some of your clients, it sounds like, received, someone came through, scraped the COSAC website, and sent a bill for $4,000 to Vivian Christensen. Looked really good, looked pretty real. And, this is the warning, it sounds like this is a common thing, Angie.
Apparently, yeah, we first reported it to our IT department maybe 6-8 weeks ago, and then he received this. I think he sent it to me last month, or 10 days ago. But yeah, and you can see in this notification that they included the exact template that we saw come from different applicants. We've had a couple of our planning commission applications, applicants also receive this. So yeah, it's been on sorry, I don't know what the word is. But yeah, we've been aware of it and have been notifying our applicants so that if they receive this, they're aware that they do not need to pay anything additional. So, and we'll continue to let them know. And
Interesting
include it in
scam.
our
I hadn't
letter
heard of
of
this one.
approval.
Using a government
The
fund.
language on this one was pretty specific to the open space stuff too. I mean, it was like, they used AI to
AI,
to,
yeah.
Yeah, and it had my name on it.
yeah, it came from Angie.
I mentioned that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess maybe let us know, Angie, if there's any recommendations from IT as far as how we can modify the application process and/or how
And
we
legally, what do
interact
we
with
need to,
website.
what do we need to put out there? I know legally people need transparency on who's applying and stuff, but at the same time, if they're now becoming the fraud target, what is the,
Yeah.
Maybe a note on the form online that says, fraud warning or something. Double check with us before you do anything.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been successful. We've had a lot of complaints once they've received this. They come in hot, but, yeah, we were able to explain.
I know when I got the email, it was easy to discern that it was, and I didn't even open it, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, not everybody will catch that, though. They're getting pretty sophisticated.
That can be part of the strategy too, as they go for people who are less discerning.
Yeah.
They get 1 out of 1,000,000, it's worth their time.
well, especially if AI is doing the scraping.
Yeah.
It's not an issue we foresaw. We got this
Yeah.
up and running.
Is Vivian okay now? It came in hot.
Especially one that was like a rezone denial, and then they did another invoice there. They're extremely unhappy.
Oh.
Anything else? Other business? Folks want to mention or bring up?
If we could have, by the next meeting, how this green belt's gonna it'd be nice. Or some kind of a idea.
Yeah, and you know,
Maybe that's too quick.
we let Keegan know, but I think I'll also bring it up when we go to the council with the Champion project. I'll bring it up with the council again and let them know if we don't have any more information that we're,
Yeah, how they gonna handle it,
yeah.
basically.
You brought up another member, you know, how do we go through that process? By the way, Justin's extremely valuable
Yes.
on that default seat.
Yeah,
I think since he can always be with us, getting a community member there, and then having because he's always gonna have that value to us there.
okay, I'm good with that. I just thought it would happen, so.
Yeah, Regan, I would like us to have 7 voting
I've got a
members
couple
come
guys
to
that'll
every
do it.
meeting, yeah,
Who do I tell them?
yeah, right.
Who do I send them to, somebody that, where they apply, or
They
Phone
go
call?
through the executive.
office?
They have, the council, both the council and well, I guess I'm thinking of the
I think
previous
the
executive,
nominates.
yeah.
Yeah, it's executive nomination, where do they start the trail? I got one guy that's asked me 2 or 3 times, he'd like to serve.
I think Janine has applications, or at least that's where she told me she got names for, you know, filling vacancies, and said they have a stack of applications.
Oh, okay. The county executive secretary,
Yeah, I would start with,
that's where she needs to start. All right, that answers that.
The seat's at large.
yes, I believe so. Yeah, that might be the one concern with bringing Justin over, is I think we have too many ag representatives or experts, where we're needing to keep it more, general public.
Yeah.
I can double check. We do have a table that kind of goes through that.
Okay.
We use for these appointments.
We get one more trail guy.
I know, I'm
That's
going
a
for
joke.
that.
We need to do more. We need to do more travel.
I'm
need to
kidding,
do
I
more
think a
trails.
lot of us are trail people.
Well,
Do we have any trail updates?
That, I was gonna ask, would you, any updates for us?
We had reached out to the state about, adjusting our budget request to be able to hire a consultant team to come in and help us with the administration stuff. We're just getting meetings with landowners, and using it strong up has been slow on all our other to-do list items. So we got approval from the states, we're gonna hire someone here soon, bring them on, hopefully really speed us up. We're hoping
Great.
a lot further by now, and we think this will help us get there. So hopefully this spring, we'll start hearing more exciting updates.
Great,
I know you guys need that.
sounds good. Gabe or Brian, any projects you foresee coming to COSAC in the near future? Applications or otherwise?
I don't foresee anything currently.
I think we'll be trying, hopefully, as we wrap up our existing projects, we'll be trying to bring 1 or 2 more projects this year. So that's the goal. It's been taking us a little while to get through some of the due diligence on some of our easements.
Yeah.
But we are making some progress. The government shutdown didn't really help us too much, slowed things down quite a bit, but we're still moving forward, so.
Good.
Yeah, hoping to be bringing more projects this year. That's the goal.
Great.
But as we get them, we'll send them over.
Okay. I didn't know if the projects that were there in North Logan were gonna gain any traction.
Oh, the Corbages and Ashcrafts.
I think so.
I haven't personally visited with them. I know Debbie did, but I think they're probably just gonna try to work with their constituents and try to get involvement and investiture in it. And hopefully,
Okay,
we can get a larger swath of land up there.
great.
Is everybody holding out for NRCS money?
Are they holding out for NRCS?
Yeah. You got any takers with the state of Utah money and county money?
No word on it yet, no,
Okay,
no,
that might be a long wait.
yeah. Yeah, with that shutdown, so,
Oh, yeah, well,
yeah, so everything's probably
if
pushed out.
the number's $4 million in the state of Utah,
Does that include stuff that was previously earmarked, like the other, some of the stuff that you had talked about? Gave like, that came out in the,
Yeah, that's separate than our RCDP application.
thank you,
So like Elkhorn was funded within an RCDP application.
so that's just separate.
That's separate, it's a separate pot of money, yep. Yep, and again, that's their initial allocation, it doesn't mean, like Brian said, it doesn't mean they can't go ask for more. They have in the past, we encourage them to do. But it's just, that's kind of where they're at currently, as far as I know.
Okay. Anything else, committee members?
I just had one last thing. If we're gonna go to this, or offer explanation of what COSAC is, if that's 2 days after our next meeting on a Wednesday, do we need to make any preparations before the next meeting? Is it a booth situation? Is it tables?
So I started putting together Friday, I've been on the road all day today, so tomorrow I was gonna get Chris's phone number and probably reach out to him and see. If I have an opening, I can be present for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then do a booth right after, so that way you pick up more questions. But my guess is we did a slide presentation on it and then did like 20 minutes and then a 10-minute question and answer and then did a booth. We'll probably get a lot more
Yeah.
applicants out and
Yeah.
answer some questions because you'll be directly producers.
Yeah.
Justin, just a note on that, do you have UDAF there presenting? You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Is Jeremy planning to present on the Lee Ray McAllister at all?
That's a good question, and I talked to Ben, because I'm putting the first, so I start at 9 o'clock and go to noon, we'll break for lunch, and then I turn it over to Ben Law,
Yeah,
with UDAF, and he will finish it.
okay,
So we've been discussing a few things, but I haven't got back to Ben yet.
okay, yeah, I just know last year I was present at that, and
Yes.
there were some good landowner questions.
Yep.
And UDAF was also there, so I think it'd be great to have kind of all parties represented and try to field the various questions that we get, because there are some unique questions that landowners have.
Yeah, and we've only done it, normally the crop school, the extension is just in the morning, and then the conservation fair was held separately, but there was another individual, we decided to combine it to use the space more effectively. So when we were asking for the event space, we were monopolizing it on 2 days, it was all in one. So it's a long day, they'll have dinner usually, but it's a lot of people coming through.
About how many do you think?
I counted 125 last year for the first half, and then I think Jay's counted 200 in the afternoon.
These are landowners in the county?
Yes, landowners and UDAF or people within the industry.
Perfect audience.
So it's a big,
Definitely.
there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
When is it again?
February 4th. I had to move it, normally it's Valentine's week on a Thursday, but UDAF's all down in St. George that week. I tried to get the week after the Ben Center book, so I moved it up. So that's why I'm scrambling a little bit to put together. So I moved it up a week.
I've got a canned presentation about the program and everything that I can just quickly update with
Okay.
more current information from the 4 or 5 months ago.
So let
Gave
me
the
get
last
your number, let's plan on you presenting.
Sure.
I'll call you tomorrow when I sit with the agenda.
Sounds great.
And plug me in as I start moving people around when they're available,
Okay,
so,
definitely.
okay.
Okay, anything else, committee members? Okay, without objection, then I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.